Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success while others spend their entire lives chasing it? Most people believe success is something you run after. They think if they work harder, move faster, or sacrifice more, success will eventually catch up with them. But what if that idea is completely backward? Real success isn't something you chase, it's something you're drawn toward because of the person you've become. Think about it for a moment. Opportunities naturally gravitate toward people who are prepared. Respect follows those who consistently add value. Trust is earned by people who continue to grow. Success behaves in much the same way. Instead of spending all your energy trying to force results, focus on becoming the kind of person those results naturally belong to. That's why personal growth is one of the greatest investments anyone can make. Every new skill you develop, every habit you improve, and every lesson you learn makes you more capable than you were yesterday. When you improve yourself, your circumstances eventually begin to improve as well. Many people wake up every morning asking the wrong question. They ask, "How much money am I making?" Or "What am I getting out of this job?" Those questions aren't completely wrong, but they aren't the most important ones either. A far better question is this: what kind of person am I becoming because of this work? Every challenge teaches patience. Every difficult customer teaches communication. Every project teaches responsibility. Every setback teaches resilience. The greatest reward of your work is often not the paycheck waiting at the end of the month. The greatest reward is the stronger, wiser, and more capable person you become throughout the journey. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot buy character. Recognition can bring attention, but it cannot replace personal growth. The happiest people aren't necessarily those who have accumulated the most possessions. They are often the ones who have become the best versions of themselves. Life is full of obstacles. There will always be unexpected problems, unfair situations, disappointments, and moments when things don't go according to plan. No one escapes these experiences. Every successful person you've ever admired has faced failure, rejection, criticism, and uncertainty. The difference is not what happened to them. The difference is how they responded. One of the biggest signs of maturity is accepting complete responsibility for your own life. This doesn't mean every problem is your fault. It means your response is always your responsibility. The moment you stop blaming everything around you is the moment your life begins to change. Many people spend years blaming external circumstances. They blame the economy. They blame their boss. They blame their family. They blame politics. They blame bad luck. They blame their education. They blame the weather. They blame traffic. They blame their past. And while they're busy pointing fingers, time quietly slips away. Blame may feel comfortable because it gives us someone else to hold responsible, but it also steals our power. As long as someone else controls your success, you remain powerless to change your future. Real growth begins the moment you say, "My future depends on the choices I make from this day forward." That single decision changes everything. Imagine two people facing exactly the same setback. Both lose their jobs. Both experience financial pressure. Both feel disappointed. One spends months complaining, criticizing everyone around them, and waiting for life to become fair again. The other immediately begins learning new skills, networking with new people, improving their abilities, and searching for better opportunities. Months later, their lives look completely different. The event was the same. The response was different. That's why your reaction is always more important than your situation. Life doesn't ask whether challenges will come. It asks how prepared you'll be when they arrive. Disappointments are not special punishments given to a select few. Every human being experiences heartbreak, failure, rejection, and unexpected setbacks. They're part of being alive. Successful people simply refuse to let those experiences define them. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What can this teach me?" That small shift in thinking creates extraordinary results over time. Another powerful truth is that you cannot always control what happens around you, but you can always control what happens inside you. You can choose your attitude. You can choose your effort. You can choose your discipline. You can choose to learn instead of complain. Those choices eventually become your future. Think about nature for a moment. Rain falls on everyone's house. Storms don't check your bank account before they arrive. Difficult seasons don't avoid successful people. Every person experiences challenges. The only real difference is how each individual prepares for them and how they respond once they arrive. Instead of wishing life were easier, become stronger. Instead of waiting for better opportunities, become more prepared. Instead of hoping circumstances improve, improve yourself. Because once you become a better version of yourself, you'll begin seeing opportunities that were always there. You simply weren't ready to recognize them. Remember this simple principle. Your future is shaped less by what happens to you and more by what you choose to do every single day. Every decision matters. Every habit matters. Every hour spent learning matters. Every challenge overcome makes you stronger than before. Success is rarely created in one dramatic moment. It is built quietly through hundreds of small decisions that nobody else notices. The person you become today determines the opportunities you'll receive tomorrow. So before you chase success, ask yourself one important question. What kind of person am I becoming? Because once you become valuable, disciplined, dependable, and committed to constant growth, success no longer needs to be chased. It begins to find you. One of the biggest questions people ask is, why do some individuals earn twice as much as others, even when they seem to have the same opportunities? Maybe they work in the same company. Maybe they live in the same city. Maybe they have similar education. Maybe they even work the same number of hours each day. So what creates the difference? The answer isn't usually more time. It's more value. Every person has the same 24 hours in a day. No one receives extra time because they're successful. Time is the one resource that is distributed equally. Since you can't create more hours, the only way to increase your results is by increasing the value you bring during those hours. This is one of the most important principles you can ever understand. The marketplace doesn't simply reward effort, it rewards value. Imagine two people painting houses. Both spend 8 hours working. One finishes with average quality. The other delivers exceptional craftsmanship, communicates professionally with clients, solves unexpected problems, and leaves every customer delighted. Both worked the same amount of time, but one created far more value. Who do you think will receive more referrals? Who will earn higher prices? Who will build a stronger reputation? Value always wins in the long run. This idea applies to every profession. Teachers who inspire students become unforgettable. Doctors who genuinely care earn trust that lasts for decades. Business owners who solve bigger problems attract more customers. Employees who consistently exceed expectations become difficult to replace. The secret isn't working endlessly. The secret is becoming someone whose contribution is impossible to ignore. That's why personal development is so powerful. Every book you read expands your thinking. Every course you complete strengthens your abilities. Every mistake you learn from sharpens your judgment. Every conversation with experienced people adds new perspectives. Little by little, your value begins to grow. And as your value grows, your opportunities grow with it. Many people dream about earning an above-average income, yet they never ask themselves whether they become an above-average person. Income often follows identity. If you want extraordinary results, you must develop extraordinary habits. If you want exceptional opportunities, you must become exceptionally prepared. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens intentionally. Start with the simple things. Become someone who arrives on time. Become someone who keeps promises. Become someone who communicates clearly. Become someone who listens carefully. Become someone who finishes what they start. These habits may seem ordinary, but together they create an extraordinary reputation. People trust those they can depend on. Trust creates opportunities. Opportunities create success. Even small improvements can transform your future. Improve your attitude. Improve your confidence. Improve your discipline. Improve your health. Improve your knowledge. Improve your relationships. Each improvement adds another layer of value to your life. Imagine receiving $1 million today. Would that guarantee lifelong wealth? Not necessarily. Without the knowledge, discipline, and habits needed to manage that money, it could disappear surprisingly fast. History is filled with stories of lottery winners and professional athletes who earned fortunes only to lose everything later. Money doesn't automatically change a person. Character determines whether success lasts. That's why becoming successful is more important than simply becoming rich. When your character grows, your ability to create wealth grows with it. No one can take away the skills you've developed. No one can steal your experience. No one can erase the wisdom you've earned. Those are assets that continue producing value for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, many people look for shortcuts. They believe someone else should solve their financial problems. Some expect their employer to suddenly reward them with a massive raise. Others spend their time complaining about what isn't fair. But lasting success rarely comes from demanding more. It comes from becoming more. Instead of asking, "Why don't they pay me more?" ask, "How can I become more valuable?" That question changes your focus completely. Now you're no longer waiting for someone else's decision. You're taking control of your own future. Every new skill you master increases your worth. Every challenge you overcome builds confidence. Every problem you solve makes you more valuable in the marketplace. The beautiful thing about personal growth is that nobody can stop you from pursuing it. You don't need permission to read another book. You don't need approval to improve your communication. You don't need a promotion to become a better leader. Growth is always available to those willing to pursue it. Another mistake people make is believing that hard work alone guarantees success. Hard work is important, but hard work without personal growth eventually reaches a limit. Imagine climbing a ladder as fast as possible, only to discover it's leaning against the wrong wall. Effort matters, but direction matters even more. That's why you should spend as much energy improving yourself as you spend performing your daily tasks. Every day, ask yourself, what did I learn today? What skill did I improve? What habit became stronger? Those questions create continuous progress. The greatest investment you'll ever make isn't in the stock market. It isn't in real estate. It isn't in cryptocurrency. The greatest investment is the investment you make in yourself. Knowledge compounds. Experience compounds. Discipline compounds. Confidence compounds. Year after year, those investments continue paying dividends in every area of life. Success is not reserved for the lucky. It belongs to people who consistently become more valuable than they were yesterday. When you focus on growth instead of shortcuts, you stop chasing opportunities. You become the person opportunities are looking for. And once that transformation begins, success is no longer a matter of chance. It becomes the natural result of who you've chosen to become. Life has a rhythm that no one can escape. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what dreams you have, your journey will always move through different seasons. Some seasons will feel exciting and full of possibility, while others will test your patience, your strength, and your faith. The truth is, you cannot control the changing seasons of life, but you can always control how you respond to them. The first season everyone experiences is winter. Winter represents hardship. It's the season when plans don't work out, when opportunities disappear, when money becomes tight, when relationships fall apart, when your confidence begins to fade. Every person eventually experiences a winter of some kind. For some, it's losing a job. For others, it's the failure of a business they spent years building. Sometimes it's heartbreak. Sometimes it's rejection. Sometimes it's simply feeling lost and uncertain about the future. The mistake many people make is believing they're the only ones going through difficult times. But struggle is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're living. Every successful entrepreneur has experienced failure. Every great athlete has faced defeat. Every respected leader has made painful mistakes. Challenges are not exceptions to success. They are part of the journey toward it. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask yourself, "What is this season trying to teach me?" Winter develops qualities that comfort never can. Patience, discipline, courage, resilience, humility. These strengths are forged during difficult times. Just as muscles grow stronger after resistance, character grows stronger through adversity. You cannot stop winter from arriving, but you can prepare yourself to survive it. You can become mentally stronger, emotionally wiser, spiritually calmer, financially smarter. The season may remain difficult, but you no longer remain the same person who entered it. That's the true victory. After every winter comes another remarkable season, spring. Spring represents opportunity. It's the season of fresh beginnings, new ideas, new relationships, new careers, new dreams. Life has an incredible way of offering another chance. But opportunities don't stay forever. They arrive quietly. They wait for those who are prepared, and eventually they move on. Many people pray for opportunities but fail to recognize them when they appear. Opportunity often looks like hard work. It looks like learning something unfamiliar. It looks like taking a risk. It looks like starting from the bottom. Those willing to embrace these moments are the ones whose lives begin to change. When your spring arrives, don't hesitate. Plant new habits, plant new goals, plant new knowledge, plant new relationships. Every action you take during this season becomes the harvest you'll enjoy later. But planting alone isn't enough. That's where summer begins. Summer is the season of protection. Anything valuable you've built must now be defended. Think about a gardener. Planting seeds is only the beginning. Without care, weeds will grow. Without attention, insects will destroy the crops. Without consistency, the harvest will never reach its full potential. Your dreams work exactly the same way. Once you've started improving your life, distractions immediately appear. Negative opinions, self-doubt, comfort, laziness, fear. These are the weeds that quietly steal your progress. That's why discipline matters so much. Every meaningful goal requires ongoing attention. You must protect your health, protect your mindset, protect your time, protect your relationships, protect your reputation. The people who succeed aren't simply those who begin well. They're the ones who remain committed long after the excitement disappears. Eventually, another season arrives. Autumn, the season of harvest. This is when your earlier decisions finally produce visible results. If you've invested time learning, you'll enjoy greater knowledge. If you've consistently developed your skills, opportunities begin appearing. If you've built strong relationships, people naturally want to work with you. If you've stayed disciplined, your efforts finally begin paying off. Harvest always reflects planting. You cannot expect extraordinary rewards from ordinary preparation. Likewise, you should never underestimate the power of small daily improvements. One page read every day becomes dozens of books over time. 1 hour of practice each day becomes mastery. One healthy decision repeated consistently transforms your body and your energy. Small actions become remarkable results when repeated long enough. When success finally arrives, accept it with gratitude. Celebrate your progress without arrogance. Enjoy the rewards of your effort without guilt. You've earned them. At the same time, if this season doesn't produce the results you hoped for, don't waste your energy complaining. Instead, evaluate, learn, adjust, and prepare for another spring. Because life always gives another opportunity to grow. The most successful people understand one powerful truth. They don't spend their lives wishing for easier circumstances. They spend their lives becoming stronger individuals. They don't pray for fewer problems. They develop greater wisdom. They don't hope life becomes simpler. They become more capable. This mindset changes everything. Imagine where your life could be 1 year from now if you improved just 1% every single day. Imagine the knowledge you could gain, the confidence you could build, the habits you could develop, the opportunities you could attract. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens through small decisions repeated consistently over time. Every morning gives you another opportunity to improve. Every challenge gives you another opportunity to grow. Every failure gives you another opportunity to become wiser. The question isn't whether your life can change. It absolutely can. The real question is this: what decision will you make today that your future self will thank you for? Will you continue repeating the habits that keep you stuck, or will today become the turning point that changes everything? Remember, your future isn't created by luck. It isn't determined by your past. It isn't controlled by circumstances alone. Your future is built by the choices you make every single day. Become stronger, become wiser, become more disciplined, become more valuable. Focus on becoming the person your dreams require, because when you change yourself, your actions change. When your actions change, your results change. When your results change, your life changes. And that's how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. Your next chapter begins with one simple decision. Start today.